Okay,
You don't do that? No, I'm figuring things out still, Kevin.
You watched We Code DM. You know how I did it.
I had no clue what you were doing ever.
I gave you the information.
You didn't describe
You gave
it very
me
well.
a Google Doc that I can't read.
Welcome to the Gaggle of Nerds podcast. I'm Kevin.
Hi, I am Donovan.
I'm Kale.
And I'm Aurora.
And that was a really smooth intro.
I know. Maybe we should do this more often.
Okay, so
We're talking about D&D 1.
Hey, that's his job.
Okay, we're not getting to that yet. Just
Oh, fine.
yet. Okay, so
Jeez. Calm down.
okay, so where we are, we're at the TNT Card and Hobby game store in Medford, Taylor County in Wisconsin.
Medford, Taylor County, Wisconsin. TNT shop.
Medford. It sounds more natural, okay?
Medford?
Medford. I like how it sounds. It sounds
Medford.
better in my mouth.
Yeah, Medford.
Okay.
That's how
Yeah,
it's said.
you say it different every time.
I know.
The moment someone points it out.
Ford.
Meet the Ford. Welcome
to Meet the Ford. That we get the booger.
Okay. Let's tell a little bit about ourselves. Just a bare minimum of information.
Ken Flar starts.
Okay.
It's on the left side of the table. But
I can't
that's
read.
the right side of the
camera.
I can't read, so
What
Ken
is it?
Flar
Technically,
starts.
Laura should start.
No, we're starting on the right side.
It's fine.
Ken Flar starts.
Okay, so I run D&D games at the game store like twice a week.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, I do. I also
That's
edit
true.
some videos for the game store.
Yeah, you do that.
Yes. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Donovan's turn.
Oh, I primarily just sit inside and do nothing all day. But other times,
Great material.
two times a week. 2 times a week, I get outside.
Well, under my accord, he
that's
can
it.
only leave
Today
if I
is
get
the
him.
3rd time this week I got
That's
outside.
at least 2 days of touching grass.
I know, I've touched so much grass this week. Alright, your turn.
Kale.
This is Kale. He's quiet and dumb and...
I exist on
Yeah.
Earth at least 98% of the time.
He's very uninteresting. Besides him being.
He's
able
our
to play
token
piano.
boring
Who's
character.
the one who makes boring D&D characters with lame personalities?
Kevin!
Fun. Okay.
They're
The
not.
names are boring. Okay, I'll admit
You're
that.
boring.
But
They're
the campaigns
not.
themselves, all right, they're all right.
We're talking about your characters.
I don't like being the player. Okay.
Well,
Yo,
grow up,
Kevin's
Kevin. God.
Okay, blame.
All right.
Kevin's a
And I'm Aurora. I'm the chick of the group, which means that somehow I'm gonna be the stupid one because that's how it is.
What about the
terrible.
I also have too much
What
energy.
about the other chick of the group that's not here?
She's not here, so she doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
We'll
she's not-
see. We'll see if she
Alright,
comes later.
Yeah, you were right.
She
won't.
doesn't
She's
count.
at work.
Okay.
Anyhow, I'm the
Unless
cool
we're
one
going
of the
until,
group.
like, 10
I'm
o'clock
significantly cooler than all these guys.
All right. So what this podcast is about? Just nerd crap. That's
Nerd
what we got.
thing.
That's and
Can we talk about physics? I want to talk about math and
nerd
science.
culture, like pop culture.
No, we're
That's
talking
so
about
mean. I want
nerd
to talk
things.
about math and science.
Pop
Sounds
culture.
boring.
Oh my god, did you hear
Yeah,
about
that's
this new
boring.
song?
Math is boring.
Also, we're not professional.
We're not professional anything.
We're professional nerds. Does that count?
We're a professional
You're a professional gaggle. We're loud and noisy.
Okay. Yeah. No. That's a good definition of how we are. Okay.
Yeah,
So.
where you literally like accidentally found the exact word that describes it.
I already knew what gaggle was.
You
I
said
just
it was
didn't
a flock of geese.
know- It is.
Yes, but that's what you thought it was.
Okay. So.
Being a flock of geese is way funnier.
ONE D&D. That's what we're talking about today. That is the topic of the episode.
I read like 3 sentences of it
Yes.
because
Okay.
I can't read.
I watched the video and didn't remember.
Okay.
Never did anything.
What is ONE D&D? What do you guys have?
It
I know
sounds
what
like
it
the
is.
next version of D&D, but I might be wrong.
Okay.
It is not going to be a new edition. It is going to be an online website run with Unreal Engine.
Unreal Engine? What's that? No, that's a gaming engine.
Yes.
Okay,
That's the
okay.
thing about it.
Kale, do you
It's
know
really
anything?
He
I
knows nothing.
literally
He didn't even
watched
know what we were
nothing.
talking
I read
about.
nothing. I
But
didn't
he
know
was
that
not
that's
even
what we
aware
were
of the
discussing.
subject.
You know, I don't.
He
I only
actually
have.
didn't even intend on coming.
I only have faint recollection of saying I'll do this podcast. So like, I had no idea what we were
Okay.
talking about today.
Both of you are wrong. Like, very wrong.
Am I right?
No, you're not.
Well, that's why you're here.
Okay,
Am I right?
I mean, kind of, partly. Both of you are partly right. Okay, here's what
Let's go.
ONE
That's
D&D
not
is. Okay, it is not a new edition of D&D.
That's what
He
we're
was right.
It's the next generation of D&D.
That's what
That doesn't
said.
make any sense.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm reading
Or
from the
editions
thing.
are
It is
different than
bigger than that,
generations.
which is questionable what that means.
That's what you said.
Proper. Okay.
We're gonna
Okay.
overuse it.
And there's gonna be new and more comprehensive versions of the core rulebooks.
This was our first episode, and it's okay if it's bad.
All right. I'm looking at the article right now of
I see that.
D&D.
I see.
The
it.
one D&D. Okay.
I'm
So
going to see it.
apparently.
I can't say anything.
Stop being so blind.
Okay. Well, they're not seeing anything either, so we're in the same boat. Okay.
I'm
So,
seeing
everything.
okay. The new rules will be compatible with like 5th edition adventures and supplements.
Supplements.
Yeah.
So
So
combine
like,
those offline. Make a pyramid scheme.
okay. Which means like the new rules will work with the older editions, like the 5th edition rules and or the adventures. You know.
Okay.
So like because you can't play a 4th edition or 3rd edition like adventure with the 5e rules. It just
Isn't
doesn't
4th
work.
edition like way different than 5th edition?
So
but
is
also
3,
a
so
lot
is
of core things came from 4th
3.5
edition.
is the closest apparently to 5th edition.
What are the
Listen,
other?
I've just
What
heard
do the
that we
different
don't talk
editions
about
even
what-
change?
Can we do an
bunch of
episode
rules,
talking
yeah.
about
Like
4th
so
edition?
many rules.
I've heard that we don't talk about 4th edition,
We
and
don't
I think
talk
I want to talk
no,
about
I
it.
don't think we have enough experience with 4th edition. I mean, we could talk about it.
We could
I
ask
could do
Jesse.
research.
Oh yeah, we could ask Jesse like to as
I
a
don't know who
visitor.
that is.
Thursday.
Guest
The
star.
Thursday guy.
The old
he's
guy.
The older,
No, or the other dude.
no, the older guy. Here. Great guy. He's knows a lot about the older editions.
Yeah, because he is
I know
old.
nothing. I'm reading the books. I'm
Not that
on
old.
it.
Okay. Alright, so back up with that one. So yeah, essentially a bunch of new D&D rules and all that. Okay, wait. This is one thing I want to talk about. Do you like the name ONE D&D?
There are multiple D&Ds, so it doesn't.
Well, okay. I think the idea is once ONE D&D comes out, there will be no more new editions of D&D. Like,
What?
Yeah. Like, not like there isn't gonna be a 6th edition. Or
So is there
7th
going to be
edition.
like a 2 D&D?
D&D 2 coming soon.
No, I think
Your
their
local
whole,
theater.
I think their whole point of ONE D&D is because 5th edition is still fairly new compared to the release order of the other editions.
Yeah.
So, and they want to stick with this because it's been the most popular and the most profitable.
It's also the
It was-
easiest.
Yeah,
Yes.
I found it really easy to learn. I recently got into D&D.
Yeah, so it would be dumb of them, like unwise business decision to make a new edition. So instead, they're just enhancing the 5th edition
So
rules.
instead of coming out with GTA 6, they're coming out
They're
with another.
updating it.
They're
Like,
coming
peop-
out with another expanded and enhanced version of GTA 5.
So people are
GTA 5
considering it
remastered.
Exactly.
like 5.5.
There's literally like a
essentially.
remaster
Okay.
graphics
That's how,
to become,
people are
like,
thinking
more
about
high tech.
That new edition,
Like they did
like an
with the
update, a major
trilogy
update
they
to all
did.
the
Oh, you
rules.
think I might be worried it might like flop?
Redo it.
Okay, here's the niche thing. They're very persistent on like the idea that that they want feedback from the community, like on what they want for the new changes, what the changes should be.
So, like, from what I've seen, like, the D&D community is pretty active about just, like, changing their own rules, making their own books.
Yes.
So,
But like officially, what in the official
Okay.
rules do they want changed and stuff, and giving permission for players to set out what the new version of D&D will be.
makes sense.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any problems with the 5th edition already, or do you not know enough about it?
I don't
No,
know.
I don't have any
I don't know how to
problem
make
with
a good sorcerer. Everyone I make, they're just really bad.
Yeah, I guess you just don't know how to
Other
play.
than Benedict Cumberbatch, he got killed by a dragon.
I think my biggest gripe has been like trying to figure out certain things because obviously I suck at reading, especially retaining information that I read. So it's been kind of difficult trying to learn really specific things, especially trying to be a DM. So I guess my only recommendation was less reading, but I'm sure I could find a
Oh
YouTube
my
video that
God.
would read it for me.
Sure.
So that's my issue, is my pure incompetence.
Um,
But that's me. Yeah.
Challenge rating.
I think challenge rating needs to be changed. I
Yes,
don't understand
yes.
what it means.
Oh!
Like, okay, there's a
yeah.
set thing about it, but like,
You
it's
understand
not
what it means?
accurate to the actual difficulty level, and also first level. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
die really quickly.
Yeah,
at
because you
first
start with no
level.
health.
Yeah,
Then
essentially.
why doesn't everyone
Like,
just like start you as
Also-
like level 3 or 4?
I think there
I mean,
needs to be
a lot of
an
people do
easier
that.
Yeah, we
way
do
to
like-
like
we start,
balance
like, 4
out
or 5.
magical weapons. Because for a lot of like interesting enemies that you want to use as DMs, you can't with the younger players because they don't have magical weapons, and especially with like melee, like based ones like monks and stuff. A lot of them, it's like they can't do anything because they don't have magical weapons. And I feel like personally, as DMing, I have no clue when's the right time and what kind of like what's the right magical weapon to give my players.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There is like comment on. Hey
I feel
guys,
like combat's a little difficult.
what are you guys talking about?
Oh, we were just
Let's
talking
talk
about
about
we were
his-
just talking
his
about my
Wild West
campaign,
campaign.
Wild West,
Remember?
and
Oh.
we were talking about Texas Red and how his stats with only a +2 revolver,
He didn't
had
really
his
stand
stats
a
of a
chance
+3.
against
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
And that there's also so many people, he just couldn't, really express how good he is.
Right.
Texas Red was pretty good.
Do you like the new name, 1D&D, or do you want it to be called something different?
1D&D sounds lame.
Yeah. So what should be the new name? What would be a
Uh,
better name? What would you call it?
D&D.
Question is, what is? Wait, never mind. I figured it out. I was gonna ask what the E in 5e means.
A, B, C,
It means
D.
additions. I figured it out. It took me a
No,
split
they
second.
just really like that Markiplier meme.
I do.
Okay. I'm just gonna call it D&D because apparently, like how it's
D&D.
spelled is. Oh wait, no. Never mind. It is not spelled D&D instead of that and symbol.
D&D.
Like, because like it's kind of confusing. Like, how do you type it out? Do you spell it as like D and the letter N-D?
I
Or-
do
Yes,
the letter N
D-N-D.
Yeah, that's
because
weird, though.
Google doesn't
like-
have an easy way to
it's
access
like-
the and.
It's like MNN.
You just have to
put
press
an
shift
M,
and
N,
H.
N,
Look me in the
M,
eyes and tell me
Shift
that
in-
I'm a competent
seven.
human being.
You're an incompetent.
You're competent enough to do that.
I spell groceries with the word grow.
You sometimes, other times you.
That's it.
I've
Okay,
never seen Roy
that's
spell the
because
word
of incompetence.
groceries
I
the
can't
same
spell the word
twice,
groceries.
and none of the times it's been correct.
Okay. Anyways,
I probably couldn't spell the word wrong right either.
do you like the idea of a new edition?
No.
It sounds intriguing,
I
but
like
also
it.
I just recently got into D&D and I'm still learning, so it's like I don't want to change it yet.
Maybe like 2-3 years or something until it actually releases.
Like
Like
next year.
no.
Wasn't it
Like
2023?
was it? Wait, hold on.
Yeah, it's in 2023 in the video.
2023.
I didn't even see the video, and I know that.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. We only got a year until they can figure
No,
out.
we got like.
Well,
3
we
years,
only
it's
have
fine.
a year. A year's a long time.
Dude, not for trying to make it like the next version of D&D.
They've
And-
probably been working on it a
No,
while.
they have. Okay. Speaking of that,
Kind of like GTA 6.
do you know what an
No,
unearthed
they're not.
arcana is?
I know.
No, I've only
what
heard of it.
The Arcana
I've
is,
never
as
heard
in
of
tarot.
Okay. The unearthed
Talk about
arcana.
tarot.
It's been a thing before.
Is it like an off-brand D&D?
No,
I
no,
know
no.
wicked
It's like
things.
it's like pre-alpha game stuff, where it's not official like new rules in things. Like they did it with the Artificer a bunch,
Oh, the
and
Artificer.
so
We're
these are-
wanted to do
so,
that, and then you didn't. play
I have here the
What about the Blood Hunter?
the unofficial rules. So unearthed arcana. It's a homebrew. That's on a
Bloodhunters are cool.
ass class.
Well, okay, no, it's made by Critical Role by Matt Mercer.
You hurt yourself and you get powers.
Whoa, emos become gods?
It's a definition
Yeah.
of edgy. You cut yourself to get
Yeah,
like be
Emos
Don't
become
say it.
gods.
I thought you were gonna say the masochist thing you were talking about.
Oh, hey Kevin. Oh no, you seen it, but I gotta ask again.
Okay.
If a narcissist is a masochist, is he also a sadist?
I'm not gonna answer that question.
He's gotta be, right? Because
I don't-
if he's a narcissist and likes getting hurt, then he would also like hurting himself, so he likes hurting, which is like what a sadist is,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Your point is. Or-
Nothing, it's just a thought I had while
That's-
watching Total Drama Island.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh,
I live with him.
You're not gonna
Okay.
for long. I'm gonna
So,
take your room, Sean.
Let's okay. So I have it here. Let's talk about at least some of the rules and what people have been talking about,
Down the
debating
road.
of. Okay.
Okay.
So first things first.
a lot of things.
Inspiration.
Oh, I know about
Inspiration's
that.
a weird
Bardic.
thing already.
What's
Okay,
inspiration?
I'm not going to talk
Bardic
about the races
inspiration?
yet, the human race thing, races yet, because like D&D
Is that what
races.
you- Oh, races.
Races.
I think it said races.
Okay, inspiration. When you get a nat 20, you get inspiration.
Okay.
Oh, is that why you get to like do 2d10
Can
instead
one
of
day we
1d10?
just like pick a different number? What? I just think it'd be so funny. It's like roll a nat 20. It's like no. Roll a nat 8, and I'll give it to you.
If you're
like,
exactly
just pick a random
exactly
number.
12,
There's a point to the nat 20. Like
I
the
know,
max.
but just imagine your DM looks you dead in the eyes and is like, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna roll a nat 20, and they're like, roll a nat 8, and you can do it. Just like,
Bro, it's like what you were doing when I was trying to become a monkey, where if we rolled too low, we would
Yeah.
like devolve too far. If we rolled too
It was
high,
such a
we
good
devolve too
time.
far. We could,
they had to get a
a
number
20
right in the
would have
middle.
been good, but we needed a middle ground.
Do you think it's a good rule?
What?
Nat 20s, giving
Yeah,
you
to
inspiration.
giving you inspiration.
Depends on the roll.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what you're rolling for.
It's like if
So-
I roll a nat 20 to hit or something like that, then I would expect to
Deal double
do
damage.
like what it does.
Sure.
But
yeah.
like, if you're
like,
rolling investigation and then you like get inspired because you're like
Yeah.
really
good
into
at
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's actually a function currently in D&D that I've learned about. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called inspiration, but it might not.
There's also
Where
Bardic
you,
Inspiration.
you
at
DM
D6.
can reward you if
Yeah,
you play
it's
as
like
your character
anymore.
more.
Yes, that's inspiration.
Is that inspiration?
Yeah, that's
what I thought.
It's a little mark thing on your D&D
Mark.
round. Or,
I just don't. What does it specifically do currently?
it gives. Oh, you don't know what inspiration is?
None of us
No,
know
I always
anything.
thought it would function like.
Oh no! It gives you. It allows you to grant you advantage, like using another die, and for any situation. I think. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Like Bardic
So,
inspiration?
It's an advantage you can use anytime, essentially.
Like Bardic
Okay, that is what I
inspiration?
thought it was.
I'm not sure if saving throws count. I gotta relook at them.
Okay.
So like Bardic Inspiration,
That's a D4. Okay.
it can be
It's-
upgraded
Well,
to a
but it's the
D6.
same kind of thing,
It's
right?
just you
Where
get to
can add
have
another
advantage.
dice
You get to
your
re-roll, right?
Yeah.
You get to just re-roll your 20.
Yeah. Essentially.
So if
And
you're like, oh dang, I just rolled a
once
1 on
once
this
you
hit.
lose an inspiration, you could
Do you
you
have
only
to? Do you have to
one.
say you're using the inspiration before you do it?
You can use it after.
So like if I roll bad, I
Well,
can say,
it-
all right, I want to use my inspiration to
Yeah.
re-roll.
It depends on the
Okay.
DM, and I forget on
Would
the.
you allow that?
I feel like
yes.
getting it every time you
You
get a
gotta
nat
put.
20 would be interesting. I
Well,
think that's
nat
something
20's
your
a
DM.
really often.
I feel like that's something your DM might want to regulate at some point.
Yeah. Okay.
I think like
So-
getting it in
Oh.
combat would be different compared to getting it in like a social situation.
Yeah. Okay. And apparently,
Well-
you lose inspiration when you have a long rest.
Okay, that makes
All right,
sense.
all
That's
right.
understandable.
Everything kind of.
I mean, you take a nap, so yeah, it resets.
Yeah.
No nap.
Yeah, you can't just accrue inspiration and be like, I'm asleep.
I'm so inspired.
Warlocks be like, I'm so.
Also, if you already have inspiration and you're given inspiration, you can actually give it to another player.
Okay.
So,
So like
Sharing is
Bardic
caring.
Inspiration.
Take my
that's a D4,
inspiration.
Okay. You got a
You're
D4.
already inspired with the tinge in your eyes. You're like, I believe in you, and your friend goes, I believe in me.
I believe in me
a
too.
little bit dramatic, but
Roll a
okay.
D1 on both.
Okay, but people have argued. They have argued that.
We argue.
We don't do that.
We do that a lot.
We would never do that.
Okay, that
The
it's
fact that
it's
we
unnecessary
said two
to get
separate
inspiration
things
on a
is-
nat 20. Maybe to do it instead on a nat 1. Like,
Oh, you
so.
want? Wait, what?
Maybe, because I mean,
I
get
did
it, you're
so
like,
bad. I'm inspired
well,
to try
I mean, you
again.
know, like the
Yeah,
thing where
that
it's
doesn't
like,
make it
if you're already at the bottom, there's nowhere to go but up.
Yeah. That
You know,
kind of
like
idea.
that happens
Alright,
in the
yeah, that
movies
makes
all the time,
sense.
where when
Sure.
you're at your lowest is when they're like, time to peak.
Right. That's distracting.
You're distracted.
I'm focusing.
Are you sure? Okay.
Guys, it's 4:20 right now.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. So,
I'm sorry.
Look how focused I am.
okay.
Kevin, you have my attention.
All right. So, D20s. Ooh. Okay. This is the really neat thing. Okay.
I got assaulted.
So, according to these new rules, if you roll a 1 on the D20, the D20 test automatically fails regardless of any modifiers to
What?
roll.
Wait,
Wait. Rewind.
If you roll a 1, no matter what, no matter the modifiers, you fail. Okay.
I don't
most,
like that
I
rule.
don't
most
like that.
actually,
Yeah, neither do I.
most DMs already use that rule.
I don't
anyway,
like
even
that.
though it's not according to the rule book.
I
Well,
don't
okay,
like
so
that.
for
Yeah,
me
that's why.
personally, as a DM, when people roll like a nat 1, I like to make it just as kind of as special as rolling a nat 20, because it's just as difficult. It's just on the other end, and I always
Every
like to
number
make it
is
just.
difficult to
Well,
some
I like
number.
to make it so
Like
it's
a
like if
zero.
you roll a nat 20
I can
and
roll
you're
a
trying
zero.
to hit a bad guy,
I
then
roll
like
a
yeah,
1,
you're gonna
and I've got
probably
minus
hit
1 in
them.
that.
But
Yeah.
if you roll a nat 1, I like to be like, okay, so instead of like hitting them, obviously something went horribly wrong,
Yeah.
and then now you
Oh.
want to describe that. Like it's like.
There's a
It just
chandelier
makes
on
it
top
more
of the ceiling, crashes
interesting
and kills
to
people.
like make the nat 1 special in its own case, because it's like you failed, but you failed extraordinarily,
You
and
failed
now it
really
gets like
bad.
there's some consequence to that. So it's
You
like
could do
I
that
wanted
anyway
to-
though, like
I
with
know.
this rule.
I know, but it's just like I feel like immediately just being like nat 1 you failed.
No, okay. Here's the thing.
No, he's
Because
saying.
like I always
Whoa,
like
whoa, whoa,
making
whoa.
it to where you mess up
No,
and
no,
then you mess
he's-
up so good that you
He's
you
saying
do
that
good.
if you roll a nat 1, your modifiers don't affect it. So, like, if you have a +3 and you roll a nat 1, you don't add that 3.
No, I think that's
Okay. the
Yeah,
six-
that's stupid. We should be able to add our modifiers.
I like my
Okay.
modifiers.
Listen, like
Modifier.
even you had a
Mafia.
+8, you usually would lose anyway if you rolled a nat 1, especially on early levels. But okay, here's the thing:
What if on level 20 I have like a +12?
nat 20s. The same thing happens on nat 20s that you automatically succeed no matter the modifiers. But it does mention that it doesn't bypass limitations on the
Wait,
test,
wait,
such as range and line of sight.
So, if I'm attacking to hit and I roll a 20, but I have a -1 to hit, does it still count
Yeah.
as a 20 where I get to, like, double my
No.
attack?
Okay. Before, how the rules work is that a nat 20 only affected combat, like attack rolls.
Whoa.
But in previously, like it didn't work on ability checks. This is saying on all nat 20s.
How about that?
We should always be able to add our modifiers. no
So,
matter what.
I
okay.
like my modifiers.
Speaking of nat 20s, and
some more this time.
usually when you get a nat
I don't
20, you
think
get a
so. I
critical
think
hit.
it is.
Okay. Two things they did was one, monsters no longer crits. They can't crit. If they roll
Oh.
nat 20, they don't get a crit.
I like
I
that.
think that's appreciated, except for maybe if you're trying to do like a boss and you want it to be really tough.
Yes. Okay.
I
so
mean, if you're like trying to not TPK your players,
yeah,
it-
especially at first level.
DM secret, I rolled nat 20s on you guys and went, it's a 3.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Because that would be devastating. But people were really mad about it because
But
well,
that's
there's
a
a
home rule. You can just decide
Yes.
what, just like any
Yes.
rule, you can decide to
It's
apply
literally
it.
Well, that could
in
be
the
literally
books,
with-
it's
Yeah,
like
like
you
Grand
can
Theft
make it up.
Auto. I can choose to run a car.
it encourages it.
I never run
But
cars. I
to
got my
teach
own.
like new
Yeah,
people
way better than
or
you.
people who don't
Yeah,
understand
like
the rules
4.7
that
Yeah.
on a car.
you know,
Like a
yeah.
fly.
Okay, so okay, but here's the thing: people have suggested instead, maybe at first levels, have that rule like monsters can't crit
Yeah.
because you'd really easily kill
Yeah.
your character. But
Especially when everybody's like, roll us the dice, and it's like, you're not gonna like me rolling us dice.
I do have a suggestion though.
Okay.
Maybe there's certain monsters, especially those with a lower challenge rating, that specifically mention, hey, these creatures can't
Crit.
crit. So
Or even just mentioning specific, like the liches, I think is what they are, which is supposed to be like a boss. Those should be able to still crit.
Yeah, right,
Because,
yeah.
as I said, it's supposed to be a boss. Like, even when you're playing like a video game, and, you got like your littler bosses who barely land hits, they're pretty meh. but then you get to the big boss and their hits are just every single time, you know, and it's just one of those things that is just more interesting
Right.
and adds like just that extra dynamic to it.
Yeah.
So I think taking away crits for all monsters is definitely not the right choice. I think having like just making it clear that you don't have to crit, like just for like new players being like monsters at lower levels, like don't crit. They just don't, you know.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. There's another. Okay. Here's the thing people have been most mad about.
Okay.
All right. Critical hits for players. It only works if it's an unarmed attack or
What?
a weapon attack. Meaning
What other? No magic.
you can't use magic.
Oh,
That's dumb.
With crit-
Well, then if you've got like a wizard, then
Yeah, exactly,
you can't critical hit
exactly.
anymore. I don't like
or
that at all.
divine smite or something.
So you're saying
Yeah.
Oh, that would suck.
I mean,
Yeah,
So you're
I
saying-
guess
crits.
well, okay, but
I love
I
being
get
a
where you're
paladin.
coming from because I feel like a lot of magic attacks can get really powerful without
Well,
it.
but that's the
Yeah.
point.
Because- well,
Magic
okay,
is
well,
powerful.
Listen, hear me out.
Like Divine Smite, next
Hey!
2d8 to
Hear
your
me out.
roll.
Hear me out. Okay, most weapons, their how hard they hit does not go up over time. Unlike magic, which gets stronger over time the
Yeah.
higher the level. A bard who is just prioritizing like their mace, their entire leveling up system, that mace will still remain like a D6 or whatever. But your wizard who has, I can't even think of one, but
Fireball.
fireball or whatever, like
Oh,
over
gosh.
time that begins to do more damage.
I'd rather
Or you
think
can do
firebolt.
more, or
Yeah.
like magic definitely gets to be
Organizer,
expanded
Scorcher.
more. So I
Yeah, that
understand
too.
why they would want to stop doing crits. on
Yeah.
That's a
magic.
really good spell.
Yeah, but to clarify, they do melee fighters also level up along with because plus modifiers.
They get more plus modifiers, but again, I just feel like magic gets a lot more pluses on it, so I can understand not wanting to do crit.
Yeah, also magic items are usually what are given, but for some DMs they don't give that.
I forget about magic items.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna start writing down chests that have like just specific items. So I'm like, you got a chest, and then I'm like,
do you not do that already?
listen.
He
I
was a
built most of
wizard?
mine around the store.
So why? It's also a game. It's like
Who has been DMing longer, Kevin?
Him!
Who's read the books cover to cover?
Him!
okay. To be
Who
fair,
has DM'd for more than one group of people?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Verbal, somatic, and
He has.
Right. Okay. Okay.
You don't do that? No, I'm figuring things out still, Kevin.
You watched We Code DM. You know how I did it.
Oh,
I
watched
had
you
no
go
clue what
DM
you were
once.
doing ever.
I gave you the
You
information.
didn't describe
You gave
things very
me
well.
a Google Doc that I can't read.
Jeez.
Yeah.
There was no list of
Wow, the
chests and the
drama.
items that are in it.
Isn't there?
It's good they were such good buddies while they were
Yeah.
Dyslexia?
Yeah.
Yeah, a font that,
School of
that most
Education.
things don't have.
Yeah.
Couldn't you just copy and paste and then like put in that sort of program or something? I don't know.
How accessible do you think things like that are?
I feel like it'd be really accessible.
No,
Like,
I have found one website that is a text-to-speech thing. That is where
Google
I
Translate.
discovered the freaking
Do it in
font.
Google Translate. That's got a text.
I really wish that
speech.
Google had a dyslexia font. I would jump with glee.
Why are we talking about dyslexia?
Because
We're
Kevin is
talking
bullying
about
me.
ONE D&D.
Google Docs doesn't even have a dyslexia font.
Google Docs
It's
is
that
lame.
inaccessible.
Docs the
Yeah,
docs.
but you agree with
Docs.
the right.
Docs the docs.
Okay, so
You've not seen my handwriting.
all right. Okay, so I wanted to quickly mention something I liked though.
I have the high ones.
Is languages. Apparently,
More languages?
okay. Well, one specific
this still?
language. It is hand
I
language,
see one with a
Uh,
jetpack.
Sign language?
sign language.
Sign language in D&D?
Yeah, now it's like
Is that a
common,
language we can learn?
common sign language. So it is a language apparently you can learn, which I absolutely love.
That's really cool though, because you can make more like deaf characters.
Yes,
I feel
Yeah,
like
it is.
access to more stuff like that has
right.
Because I mean, I was joking previously about a character who like couldn't do stuff, but then it's like, yeah, but all they can do is talk.
Where did
And
your drink go?
I drank it. I threw it away.
Wow.
Um, but like personally, even just like as a regular human being, I'm
No,
learning,
he
trying to
learns-
learn
he knows how
sign
to sit.
language, and it's fun and
Imagine.
interesting. and obviously not very well known, but it's kind of neat. So the fact that they put it in
I don't know how
D&D,
to do that.
and then it's just like now instead of on your journeys you meet a man who's mute, you can meet a man who speaks a language that you don't understand. He indicates things with his hands, but all you can do is just try to slowly analyze it, like. And I imagine like you can know bits and pieces of it. Like I know the alphabet.
Have
I
you
know
seen
the alphabet too.
Have you seen A Silent Voice?
What?
A Silent Voice. It's an anime movie where there's like a mute character or like a deaf character, and
No, I haven't.
after
This
watching
table is so crunchy.
that movie,
Hold on, I got.
after watching that movie, I wanted to make
I like
like mute characters, like and
oh, like
also
that one you were
also there's Komi I can't
I wanna play
communicate.
a
He
mute
uses
Komi.
like a text like, which I remember in high school writing a character who used a sketchbook or something to write to communicate with others. Because I like those characters. I think they're neat. You know?
I like building characters that are like. So I'm building my new campaign, right? And I decided that instead of building like the story, I was going to build. This is kind of weird, but also makes sense at the same time. So usually I write like a story and then like a goal, but I've decided I'm going to write like things that are going to happen, and players just can find out and learn about it, and then they can go to it. Like, that's what I've been doing currently, and right now I'm just writing down characters that they can meet that are in specific locations, and I've made this interesting character, who, the whole point is, like, they don't talk, they don't do anything, they're silent, they're quiet, but, like, you could still learn information that I wrote about this character, like their face, their name, like, you don't see their face, but, like, the players have a choice to like try to befriend this character, and if they don't, that's my own information that I get to keep, and I just get to be like, this character is this, and nobody knows.
Didn't you say you were gonna like do D&D with another group, right, or something?
When I move, probably.
When you move, okay.
Because I mean, I want to do D&D still, and if I can find a new group of people, as much as I like you guys, you ain't all coming to with me,
which
so
completely fair. Yeah.
don't worry, I'll still come play D&D with you
Yeah.
guys.
Okay. Great. It's good.
You and Laura?
I'm not
I don't know.
ditching you yet.
She's not
Yeah.
that kind
You
of.
have the most
She's not a
friendly
nerd.
She might be behind the scenes.
Her husband
What?
is.
She's a colossal.
My husband?
Oh no, my
No, he's
aunt's
not.
husband.
Oh, I was really confused. I was like, I have a husband.
Unless I checked, I wasn't married.
Oh, is there anything you want to add, guys?
Oh no, you guys just been talking.
Donovan. So after Kevin's campaign, are you gonna do one or is Laura gonna do one?
Yeah, who's gypsying the next campaign?
I am. I'm gonna write another unprepared set of words.
Based on a song.
And what I'm thinking is, put to a vote, like as in, what are the like state your campaign where you want to do? Because I want to do D&D zombies.
Oh,
Okay,
are we
you
just gonna do a
just had
freaking
your
democratic vote?
Yeah, you just
We
have to.
got a cycle. It was just your turn. Your turn isn't done yet.
I know, but I got ideas.
It's mine or Donovan's turn next.
Once
You did yours
once
before
one
Kevin.
D&D
Yeah,
comes
me and
out, we
Donovan have to
can
do
play
ours,
digitally.
and then it's yours.
of
We've
campaign.
discussed
Oh,
this.
right, that. We'll talk about it later, but that is not what you think it is.
Oh.
Okay?
We'll just all buy a computer and then all buy Tabletop Simulator or something, so that way we can just play together.
We could just play on Discord. We never use the table.
Just
Use the table for
But
holding our chips.
if we had one, we would.
This table's really crunchy, though. Is there a reason why we chose this top?
Because it's pretty.
Okay, so
It's pretty.
okay, here's
It's
what I'm really excited about. Here's what I'm really excited about.
what are you excited
really
about?
excited
I thought
about.
you
What are you
told
excited
us
about?
the thing you were excited
Tell us,
about.
boy.
No,
Tell us, what are you excited about?
What are you excited about?
Kale's
What is it,
so
boy?
tall.
What is it, boy? I offered to
Okay,
switch
so-
places with you. You cannot.
Backgrounds! That's what I'm excited about.
Backgrounds. Oh yeah, can't you get like a beat from your
Okay.
background now?
Yes, you can.
Wait, but couldn't you already do stuff with your background? Like if
No,
you
no,
were
no,
a
no,
folk
no.
hero,
No, no,
people
no.
would hide you, and
You
like
get
you could
extra
hide things as a
languages.
criminal.
Okay, listen. I said
You can
listen.
get extra languages if you're a sage. You can learn like an extra language.
Okay,
Oh my god.
how I believe it works
Understand how
now.
you're.
Okay, instead of getting your ability scores from your race, the race you choose, you instead get them from your background. So you get
You're so short.
choose add and increase 1 by 2 ability score, another one by 1. Alternatively, choose 3 ability scores and increase each of them by 1.
Let go.
You get 2 skill
You're
proficiencies,
driving on the beat.
tool proficiency,
And you get to choose those, or is it? Just
Yeah, you get to choose those.
Okay.
So, and here's the most. Other than the ability scores, which is interesting, feats. Yes, you get feats.
So feats
Yeah,
are really
I heard
interesting.
about that.
So from what I
Like
know
Gravel?
about feats is they can give you special
That
abilities
sucks.
and like different bonuses.
Uh-huh.
And because I briefly learned
They
about
do a
them, I don't
skill
think I'm
check
at those
to
in the
grapple
book
person.
currently,
Another
but
skill check
I've
to make
learned
them prone
about
to
them
you prone, so
briefly.
both of you can't
And
I'm gonna
they
trap
seem
myself
interesting,
on
and I
the
feel like there's
floor.
definitely not a lot of opportunities for them currently.
Right. Okay, but here's the thing. That's changed about feats. There's first level feats, meaning there are feats that are dependent on your level, and
So
instead of
you don't
like,
get like overpowered ones at like level 4.
yeah, exactly. And it brings a bunch more possibilities because usually feats
Foot
tend
tiers?
What?
Feet tiers?
feet tiers.
Like tiers of feet?
Sure, man. Okay.
Like different
Also,
tiers,
each
like levels.
now each
T-I-E-R.
each character will have a feat. Now, so some examples of feats would be okay. Let's see.
Fine boom sound effect.
Like normal stuff like acolyte or arson. Wait, no. Those are
Arson.
Arson, hey, we know a guy.
I know an arson.
no. Okay, no. I'm looking at backgrounds. The point is, you can build any background.
Wait, backgrounds. I can't have an arsonist background?
Yeah, you can
Oh.
have that. You can have an arsonist background if there's a feat related
So wait,
to
does
fire.
it just kind of encouraging making your own background
Yes.
now instead
Yeah,
of using
pure-
preset
purely-
ones?
There is some like preset ones,
Obviously,
like
but
saying
it's like
encourages.
encouraging
it
building your
encourages
own.
heavily to make your own backgrounds, which I absolutely
But I
love.
love
Yeah,
learning
I feel
another
like it's
language with
been-
Sage and being able to recall any piece of lore no matter where it is.
Yeah, no. Instead,
Wait,
that
doing
can
what?
be a feat. That would be
Yeah.
a feat instead.
Like,
But like, you
I'd
know,
rather have that with just a background instead of having
when
to
I
waste
like,
a feat slot.
but like when I DM, I find it kind of.
Slot.
Sometimes I wish I could
Yeah,
implement
slot.
backgrounds of
Feet
characters
slot.
to help players
Isn't that
get
what
into
a shoe
characters
is?
more.
Yeah,
And I feel like a lot of the
No,
time
my
my
shoe is a
players
foot
don't
slot.
have a background.
Two shoes are feet
Mm.
slots.
right.
oh,
And like me as a player, usually I'm not too bad. I like to give like moldable backgrounds for the DM to mold in their own way, because obviously I'm not going to be like, oh, I know everything about your campaign. And if I have like something kind of interesting I'd like to do, you could always talk to the DM and be like, hey, I want to be like something kind of with this. But I always find it's boring when your characters are just like, I went to high school. And it's like, well, duh, like that. So I think it'll be neat if it encourages players to create their own backgrounds a bit more, because it gives them more of a chance to like think through like, why would I have this? What did I do to get this? And yada yada yada.
Yeah. What do you guys think would be good fits?
Not grappler. Grappler
They
sucks.
changed grappler. You can now use furniture as
I can grapple people to my furniture?
Like Spider-Man?
What does that even mean?
No. You can like use
Is it
furniture.
grappling holding on
You
to
can use
someone?
furniture as
Yeah.
weaponry, so you can use
What
a
does that
couch.
What do you mean grapple? I can hit someone with
No,
a couch?
Well, that's what the feat does. Okay, let me give you an example of one of the better like neat feats.
Isn't that
One
just
is
like improvised
alert.
weaponry?
Essentially, but it's different. Like,
What?
well, I guess not. Anyway, point is, alerts, feats, alert feats.
Alert,
Okay.
alert.
Okay, always on the lookout for danger. You gain the following
Nerd
benefits. When you roll initiative, you can add your proficiency bonus to the roll, and initiative swap. Immediately after your initiative, you can swap your initiative with an initiative of one willing ally in the same combat. So,
Oh,
if
so like
you-
if you have a healer, you can switch.
yes, you can.
If they got a higher
Yeah,
one, you can
and
switch. Oh,
That'd be really useful depending on your abilities. You know?
Oh, he said a feat where you can switch your initiative with another willing ally.
Yeah. So what would be good feat? Or maybe a good idea for a background you want it that isn't available.
Like if you're a healer. Other person's a fighter.
So I was looking through the backgrounds to make one of my characters for the
Yeah.
campaign, and I kind of wanted something that was to do with like study without being like
Magic
like
study.
group, yeah, like a magic study. Because my
Hadouken!
character I wanted to be was somebody
Magic.
who like was like a mixture of like the
Instead of an
hermit
acid spray.
and a mixture of just like just basic like solo adventuring is what my character like their background was supposed to be something along the idea of that they isolate themselves from others for general discovery and like expansion of knowledge, and there was really nothing that was to kind of that what I was thinking. And I think like something where you can just have like a feat
No!
that was just like you get like maybe an extra
Like my
ability
phone?
or
I don't
whatever,
want it
like
to
a
break.
language or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I
Because
broke it intentionally. Kevin should
obviously
stop.
my character I wanted
I
to
blame
do
it on him. He was in
just whatever, and well, not whatever, but you know, and so I think like a feat that could be along like
Oh, there it goes. I guess you're not gonna
Yeah.
grab it.
making it to where you could be maybe extra proficient in like a very
you're not gonna snap
specific
back.
thing or whatever. Caleb!
No.
This was
Hey, guys,
Yeah.
don't you think?
toward the
Maybe
table.
it might be distracting
No.
for the audience
I'm not
if
distracted.
there's
Extra
Like a
things
s-
going on in the background.
Yeah.
I know you guys won't shut the fuck up.
like or a second
Oh, it's because you
conversation
don't
going
understand
on.
anything.
I
I gotta
mean,
explain it to him.
No, I
dude,
understand
if
what
you
I
have
hear.
something to say, add it to the conversation.
I don't have anything to say.
You're obviously talking about something.
I
It
don't-
has to be interesting.
I don't know what I've been talking about. I don't know what we've been talking about.
How about you?
Me?
Do you remember?
I remember some things.
Oh yeah, we were talking about feats, and you kept on asking us what background or feat would be cool to add.
Then why don't you tell us?
Arsonist.
Arsonist. Okay, how would that look like? What would you be able to do?
Yeah.
Burn things. Obviously.
Okay, like be specific. Like, do you just have
I
a?
don't know.
Maybe it could be.
So does it work like a lighter, kinda? Like you just have the natural ability to make anything catch on fire?
It'd be interesting, like a monk who could like summon fire. That would be really interesting
Like
because
a
your character doesn't
or-
initially have
It could
magic.
be like a
So, like, a
firebender.
character-
They can
so,
only
like-
move fire that doesn't exist.
Or-
though.
Like
That's
yeah,
that's already a thing.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
you
yeah,
could be
yeah,
like
yeah.
a
Yeah,
monk
move
because
fire,
obviously
you're
monks
right.
don't typically
Well, but
have
move
magic.
fire is different. You can't. You can't
Depending
move it
on
wherever it
different
stands.
like books, because in the added
Or
books,
like mold
it'd be like
or
Goku,
shape water,
where you
stuff
just
like that.
do magic, like from your hands and stuff.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
based
I
on
was
what
like
I know.
feats and stuff
Core
that could do that.
energy.
Yeah.
Maybe arsonist could be a background you could take as maybe a wizard or someone
Or
who
a
can
wizard.
cast fire magic. And maybe that
What about a
increases your
self-taught
fire magic.
wizard? So
Uh,
most wizards have to go to school, right?
Yeah.
They have like the school
Yeah.
like evocation. But what about
Evocation.
one that's like
Evocation.
Okay, here's
But
the
what
thing.
about like a
Books are
wizard?
books are expensive. That's the only way
Yeah,
you
no
can
shit.
teach
Okay,
yourself.
okay, but
Or like a tutor.
so obviously wizards are built
about
around
the
like
internet?
they're like educating, right? So imagine a wizard
Just
who
look in your clear
was
so
just
low.
like trapped somewhere for like a long time,
Yeah.
isolated, and they just figured out magic, and they like wrote their own books.
Right.
So what about
Custom
like
spells.
yes, well not custom spells.
Custom spells.
But like, what if there was
You
like
build
a
your
background
own.
about like
That
Build
actually
a spell.
That'd actually be really cool. Like you could do improvised.
a background
spells.
about just
That'd be
like
awesome.
It's like improvised weapons. like,
where you
spells.
learn
It'd be
magic,
so
but you
cool.
don't know
Old fire.
everything. So it's like whilst everybody
Fire
else calls this spell fireball, your character calls it like
touches.
But
flaming
it looks like
thing,
it's
or just
fire.
like they call it something completely different.
Sure.
You know, like in the Maze Runner when they have their own terms for things, because obviously they didn't know the terms, so they made up their own.
Right.
So I think like a background based around like characters who are like less knowledgeable about stuff like that could be interesting.
You know,
Yeah.
I have an idea for a feat. It's called ladder.
Okay.
What to do?
What's
To grow your legs.
You can just immediately make a ladder, hop into your backpack,
Carpentry.
and it's an infinite ladder. You can extend it for however long you need.
As tall as you need it to
And
be.
yes.
So you just like.
It's the feat
I
of
don't
a
know.
lifetime.
I don't know about that
First,
one,
it
man.
starts off like a
sounds
little
too
ladder, and then you
overpowered,
can just
though.
stretch
Yeah,
it.
that
You
sounds
could
like
literally go
overpowered.
up any
Yeah,
building or down
exactly.
any hole. in any
Dungeons would
height.
be completely useless. Or
Well,
like,
no, because you can't get.
Except
through
it
it.
has a limit of, I don't know, like 60 feet.
still, man, like you
I
cross
mean-
some pretty big gaps with a 60-foot ladder.
When your DM starts making gaps 80 feet instead of 60 feet.
Or what
Two
about
ladders.
What about our improvised spell making?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
improvised
improvised
spell.
spells.
That would
I don't
be
know how that would
interesting.
work. But
Like maybe
something
you can
like that.
combine like small features of two different spells.
Maybe
So
you
yeah.
can
like
combine, I don't know, like acid splash and ice knife. So then you can,
That's a first level spell.
Well,
Like-
just that kind of thing.
yeah,
but like
so
the
like you
improvised
freeze
spell
the
thing-
acid and shoot it at someone.
Well,
Yeah,
like,
and then the
so
acid
that way
melts
when
in
it,
them.
so that way when you hit it and then it explodes acid instead of ice.
What do you
Yeah.
think would be higher level like feats? What would that look like?
improvised. So like let's say improvised spell.
Or
it
not even
could be
necessarily
low
improvised
level.
spell, but like spell combination. or
It could
something
be
like
low
that.
level for only combining like very small parts, but you could also do an improvised spell that's for like straight up combining like
As the-
3 spells at
As
once.
the improvised spell increases, you
with
could
being able
either
to like majorly affect how they function.
you could either make like more spells and combine them at a time, or like just higher level
Okay,
spells.
so I think how you would make that is essentially you could there's a like hit die you're only allowed to use at certain levels, and you can choose what type of like if it's like poison, not poison, like ice damage or fire damage.
Well,
But it only can be that. You can't switch
okay,
it around.
so
Yeah.
like thinking about this, so I think I have one that's like a death touch, and then you can also use like magic hand together, because like for some spells it's like you physically have to touch them. So
Yeah,
then,
like
imagine combining your mage hand and your death touch, to where you can now range death touch.
That
that
one would
already
have to-
exists.
That would have to be
Well,
like
I
way
didn't
higher
know
level.
that.
Well, something kind of similar. It's sorcerers. They have some points they can use where they can like make the spell quiet or extend out or increase the damage. That sort of.
I can make
But yeah.
quiet spell.
But I mean,
Silent Agonizer's Scorcher.
Silent fireball.
it just makes it to where they don't scream.
Apparently, for the new rules on races and stuff. Apparently, okay, so humans gain inspiration whenever they finish a long rest, and they
I don't think
also.
I've ever met a human that wakes
Yeah,
up.
no.
Woo!
Kind of the opposite. They lose. They definitely
They
lose.
lose
their
inspiration in the
Okay, and
morning.
apparently, based on this, the human average in like the Forgotten Realms is 80, because it
Human
says
average
Years
what?
old?
People?
yeah, 80 years old. Is the
Age?
average.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like how
Oh,
bad.
average
live.
age.
Lifespan.
I thought you were saying that's how old they
Yeah, humans
averagely
live a short
were. I
time.
was gonna say,
Yeah.
wow.
I'm 80 years old.
I was really
There's some sub
confused.
things.
Yeah,
Apparently,
life expectancy of 80. that
apparently
makes
they
sense.
have a new class. I think I only heard this from secondhand, but like where it's like the Egyptian gods things, and it's just
Oh.
like a person
Ra.
with the creature head of any animal.
Yep.
So like,
Lady Gaga.
so like Egyptian kind of sort of vibe.
Yeah,
What, like
where
an
they have
Egyptian?
Like
like
a pharaoh.
that makes me think of like
Rock song?
the werewolf feature thing. I cannot remember. I remember seeing something talking about it. That
Like
there
Anthropy?
is some
Like Anthropy.
no. There is some like class or whatever that was made, or maybe it's an official thing, whatever, where you can be like a were-shark or whatever, where instead of turning into a werewolf, you turn into a
There
were-shark,
are
which is
were
half
sharks.
shark, half human.
Yeah.
I want
And
to
other
turn
stuff
into a
like that,
shark
but there was a
at
feat where you
midnight.
can like be like pinned with a specific animal,
Oh.
Isn't that
And-
like where you relate to something?
and like you
Yo, I came with that.
like I don't remember it. I remember seeing
What is
something
it? Wait,
talking
what do you
about
mean
that.
it can't? Like, what's that mean?
Look it up.
You're like you feel
You
close
just
to it. You're like
Feel similar to?
yeah,
Yo,
you're
I
related,
feel like
you
into
know?
my
Can
bed.
anyone just feel into anything?
Well,
Well,
No.
I don't get what you're saying. I'm not trying to like make you think. I don't
okay,
understand
so
what you
for
mean.
example, it's like you feel this way with like wolves, for example. You were raised by wolves and you feel like an understanding
Oh.
with like the wolves, and so your character now has features and traits of a
Yeah.
wolf.
Oh.
Can sniff out a person.
I don't remember
There's
the
something.
thing.
There's something
I see.
similar where you're like you have a favorite enemy. So essentially the opposite. of that.
enemy.
In-
like-
Oh, like with the hunter.
Yeah. Wait, no, not the hunter. The ranger.
Yeah, Ranger.
Yeah, like favorite enemy, but it's the opposite where you get.
Wait, do they do more
Humanoids.
damage
Yeah,
against
there's
it?
some more mild rules about it. But
Humanoids.
anyway, what are your thoughts about ONE D&D? Do you think?
I don't know enough about it,
it's
but
intriguing, but I kind of like. I don't
most
know, I
of the
feel like-
rules that I've heard sound awful. To be honest, they sound
I'm really excited.
like
I
there
like
are
the
some.
feats.
Yeah, I was
thing.
gonna
love
say the
that. I love
feats.
the
They
background.
sound really interesting and
I-
like the new background type stuff. But the new rules they're trying to add, I don't like.
Like
think-
inspiration.
Some of
Why
them-
can't I just have my critical or nat one?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that- I
people
don't-
were upset about that.
Yeah,
I
that's the only
think-
one that I really like.
I think that
Nah.
that obviously I like 5e, and I think I like more the fact that it's more recommending to be able to do specific things. Because with D&D, it's always been a lot of like you can do what you want and you can adjust it however you desire. So I think just making some things that maybe people already do more official is kind of important, because I feel like there's a lot of people who are like, well, that's not in the rule book, you're not allowed to do that. So making it more
The rule
accessible
book's
to
lame.
people who maybe are more to the book and making it to where more people can understand different things and get access to different rules and ways
Yeah.
to change it.
Right.
I think that's neat, and I think that's kind of what it's trying to bring from what I'm getting, is just your ability to change and more people to understand other ways to play the game.
Right.
And obviously some of it's kind of dumb, and a lot of people are just going to always not do that. But
Yeah.
there's still a lot of things about it that a lot of people can now start implementing in their game, and more people can like change about their games that they'll enjoy more. And I think one thing that I like still, like even just about D&D in general, is that like you don't have to do
Yeah.
it.
It is.
And
Yeah. Encourages that.
it's again, you were talking about how they wanted the community feedback and whatnot, and
Serious.
so with like that, it also helps bringing in more ideas from other people and things that could be changed that like people genuinely have gripes with. I mean, it's D&D, maybe the 5th edition, but there's still problems with it that people want to change,
Yeah.
or ways around things that a lot of people have already found. And now it can be shared with like the community that other people can now understand. So I think it's got its pros and I think it's got its cons. But overall, I think it's a pretty positive thing.
Yes. Okay. And to clarify, this isn't the official like what it's going to be.
I really
This
hope
is-
they do change
It's just some ideas.
Yes, it is some ideas and just the first batch of info. That's why it's an Unearthed Arcana. It's just it's
What
not
is
official
an
rules.
Unearthed Arcana?
Yeah, explain
It's-
that.
Did you explain what that was?
Yes,
that I
like
missed?
it's a beta
Beta testing.
beta testing. Yeah, like it's pre-alpha sort of thing. And
Free alphas are really bad.
yeah, essentially that's what this is.
Well, there's a lot of fun glitches in
This
it
is
now.
what
That
it
is
is.
true. I do
So
like the
there's-
glitches in free
So
alphas.
they're gonna. This is not what it's gonna be like, most likely.
So that's
when
just
it
like
comes
some
out.
rumored ideas, some things that
Like-
they're thinking about.
Yeah, like some suggestions, and they just want feedback from the community. And you can do that. You could go on like forums and like review on what it is and what it was and like what you want changed about, and have suggestions. So do that. Like some people do that, and remember that this isn't the official thing yet. That they're going to change.
Yeah. It sounds exciting though.
Yes.
You should see the
Okay.
man.
But okay, I think we're done for that for now. But I do want to talk about the D&D Unity, the digital, the digital. Okay, so
I didn't read anything about that.
okay, so essentially it is in Unity. It's a Unity thing.
Yeah, Unity engine.
From D&D Beyond. It's not going to come out for a long while.
What's it? Is it just like a virtual table?
Yes, it's essentially what it is, a digital
But
tabletop.
it's not
Don't
part
they
of
have that
D&D.
already with role
And then
playing?
can't the dungeon masters create their own
it's in
dungeons?
yes. It's in a 3D space. That's the
Yeah.
thing. So,
So it's still
Like
kind
a
of over the
VR
top.
kind of thing?
no, maybe
D&D but VR, guys!
Oh my god.
Dude!
it might have VR support, maybe potentially. But the
If
thing
it
is,
doesn't, they need it.
Move
Okay,
your piece in
uh,
there. Just pick
I don't
them
know
up.
if they had health or anything, but yeah, it's essentially a tabletop 3D space. It looks really nice. But here's
Yeah,
the
I
thing.
saw that
What is it
in the one D&D
accessible
video.
D&D Beyond. I think it's supposed
So-
to be
yeah,
free.
that's right.
I think
I'll be right
it's
back.
that's the thing. It's supposed to be 3. It's a 3D thing, space.
But like, is it going to be accessible on like your phones, your computers, and stuff like that? Or is it going to be like exclusive to like computers?
I
and
don't
whatnot?
know yet. I hope it's. I mean, it
Because
probably.
stuff like that tends to be exclusive to like
yeah,
computers.
PCs.
And I mean, even like personally, I do not own a PC. This is a tablet, and it doesn't run.
Yeah,
a lot of
PCs are
PC
expensive.
Yeah.
Things.
Couple
Or
100,000.
also, what about like accessibility to consoles?
Oh,
So obviously,
it's
a
supposed
lot
to
of
not be a video.
okay, but like a lot of online
that
stuff.
suck.
A
Because then I
lot of
could sit
online
in my
is
living room.
done through PC and console. That is
Yeah.
your most online communities. So I feel like bringing D&D to console would be
Mobile
interesting
gamers.
because you can bring like this new group of people. Like you
Yeah.
don't have to make it a video game; it can still function just like everything else. But now you have this ability to be like, hey, get in your Xbox party, and now you can play D&D.
That would be neat.
more accessible because
Yeah.
Because
for the longest time, I didn't have like tablets or computers or nothing like that. I purely had a console, and so
Consoles are just built different.
it's maybe one day. Fucking
Oh, man,
friggin'
PC is
sorry, my brain just blanked on what I was talking about. Bringing D&D with like your virtual tabletops to console would be, I feel like, expanding the accessibility of D&D to a very large group of people who could be very interested in that thing but don't have the chance.
Right.
Like, obviously, all the people who are, like, out here, they're like, I'm playing Fortnite. Like, obviously, they don't want to, like, play D&D all the time. But,
Oh yeah,
like,
Fortnite players wouldn't play D&D.
no,
Yeah,
you're,
no,
like,
those
8th graders.
8-year-olds.
Yeah, I was going to say, a bunch of 8th graders probably don't want to play D&D. But they also might, and giving them the chance might just bring new people to the community.
Right.
And maybe one day make the books cheaper.
Yeah. They should do either two things. Either just purely make it browser-based, or, yeah, have it available on consoles. I think that would be a good idea. And it'd probably be simple enough to do. Probably. It's going to be a while until then.
But I think that's an interesting thing to consider.
Yes.
Bringing D&D to console. It's a new movement. Let's do it.
I always imagine that sort of thing, having, like, D&D, like, within console or as a game, sort of, like...
Kale and Donovan get on the Xbox parties to play games. So
Yeah,
imagine
we
just like
do.
hopping on your Xbox party and you're like, "What's up, guys? Y'all ready to play D&D?" And you're already on your virtual table and everybody's like,
That'd
"Okay,
be great.
let's do
It'd be
this."
amazing.
Because then in my spare time, all I do is play
Sit down?
video games.
Yeah. So
So I could just design something instead
and then
of
all your
playing a
friends who live like way out, it's not like, "All right,
Yeah,
we're
right.
gonna play this on Discord because we have no way to communicate with one another."
Discord kind of sucks with voice chat, though. I feel like...
I don't
I am
know,
more
just
than
plug in a
aware,
nice
but
mic.
also I'm also more than aware that Discord is like exclusively the only way
One
to
of
find a
these-
community of people.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think
kinda-
is really important in like a 3D space to play D&D is like an avatar-based thing, because part of D&D is being able to like see the other people.
So VR?
Well,
It would
if you're
be so
doing
cool to
VR,
do
or
VR.
just like a
Is it-
similar thing,
Kinda
Yeah.
like a
or just
VR
like
chat.
having a 3D space.
I think
would
they're
be-
making that. I think that is becoming...
I'm sure there's a D&D thing. There's
Tabletop.
probably like billions of D&D things in VR
I think
chat.
that's the best
that you
thing
could just
about
go visit.
D&D
That'd be
is that the community is quite large, and
Yes.
the community's got a lot of very unique people in it.
Your mom.
So you have a lot of people who are creating like entire books, entire systems and stuff. So it's interesting because I'm sure if we did enough research, we'd probably 100% find some of the things that we're talking about. But I think making it official makes it more accessible to other people.
Yeah, it is. Okay, actually, I'm curious. What do you guys consider D&D as? Like, what should it be more of? Is it like, let's say, do you think of it more as a like a simulator or more as like a kind of video game feel?
An RPG.
Depends on the person.
Rocket
What type
repelled
of-
It
grenade.
depends on how you play.
Okay, listen, like for me, for
Yeah,
example,
rocket repelled grenade.
I do think of it as a story type of game,
An
but
RPG.
I also think of it at the same
Role-playing
time
game.
as much as a video game. You know, like more so than usual. Like to have the pace of a video game where there's combat mixed between story mixed between that sort of thing. That's
I think
what I
that
go for.
definitely varies person to person. I think
Yeah.
some people definitely see it dramatically different. Even
Yeah.
in like the DM's guide, it talks about creating your story in a way that's to your players. Part of the DM's guide, I remember talking about ways to make it more accessible to those who see D&D as more of like a combat thing, or others who see it as more role play and other stuff like that. So I think that it very much is person to person, and I think obviously with, at least from my experience with our group, is a lot of us do a lot more stuff based around role play.
Yeah.
One, because combat
That's
is
pretty
boring and we all have a short attention span.
Hey guys, sorry about the abrupt ending. Unfortunately, the file got corrupted and the little bit end of it unfortunately got lost. Hopefully you enjoyed though, and hope you come back for next time.